Colleen Ballinger thinks that we all forgot that she's canceled. Hello everyone and welcome back to The Chanel. First off, before we move on, I want to apologize for the audio quality in this video. I'm currently traveling and am having to record everything on my phone. I don't have access to my fancy mic, so sorry for that. In any case, thank you so much for bearing with me. I also would like to apologize for all of the background noise. There's clearly a lot happening around me right now, which is also why I am talking so softly. I really don't want other people to hear me. Personally, that would be humiliating. Being known publicly as that lady who talks to herself about another lady on the internet. Anyway, again, thank you for bearing with me regardless. Okay, back to Colleen. If you haven't watched my previous videos on Colleen Ballinger, I'll link the playlist of all the videos I've done about her in the iCard above. I recommend watching that before this video to catch you up with everything that's going on. So our speculations were right, unfortunately. Colleen is in fact reviving her live performance career. Recently, Colleen announced that she will be doing a tour. Her tour is called Pity Party, with 4 tour dates scheduled for May and June. She will be hitting Nashville, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Boston. Her Instagram post about the tour is quite funny because naturally, when she posted about it, I'm sure there were a lot of people who had some not very kind things to say in the comment section, because now the comments are limited. Tickets went on pre-sale on Friday, March 6th for around $45 each. The description of the show reads much like her previous show that she did in New York. After a 3-year hiatus, Colleen Ballinger is finally returning to the stage with a one-woman show full of comedy, music, and an anxiety attack, probably. Colleen Ballinger has amassed over 50 million followers across her social media and passed 4 billion views on YouTube. After her rise to fame on social media, Ballinger went on to create, executive produce, and star in the Netflix original series Haters Back Off. She made her Broadway debut in Waitress as Dawn in 2019 and performed her one-woman show to sold-out crowds all over the world for over a decade. Colleen is best known for her comedic character Miranda Sings, and her 1-hour special Miranda Sings Live, You're Welcome, is also available on Netflix. Now, she's also listed some of her accomplishments after the description. I find it hilarious that she has named Jerry Seinfeld's Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, because Jerry Seinfeld is a very well-known predator. So I just think it's pretty wild to continue to associate yourself with someone like that. I get that he's a very successful comedian, but if it were me, I would be trying to steer away completely from anything that could link me to predatory behavior, given the accusations against Colleen. She also lists her 2 books, Self-Help and My Diary, in her accomplishments, and states that they're both New York Times #1 best-selling author. What does that even mean anymore? I feel like every book I've ever seen has that tag on it, so is it really anything to brag about? I remember that when she announced her first live show in New York, she had listed the show for all ages, when it was very clear that her content is not appropriate for all ages. She was literally canceled for her inappropriate jokes during live shows, where her audience consisted mostly of children. Well, after plenty of backlash, they edited the description to list the event only for 18+, and in the description of this show, it looks like they took extra care to say that the humor and content was appropriate for 18+. However, it doesn't look like that means only 18+ individuals will be admitted to the show. So maybe in an effort to mitigate any liability attached to her name for inappropriate jokes with minors in the audience, she's doing this as a precautionary measure. That way, she doesn't look bad if minors come to the show, but also she profits off of their attendance because she knows that's really her target demographic. That would not surprise me in the slightest. Colleen's humor is very juvenile, even though it has adult undertones, which is primarily why her audience consisted of mainly children. Okay guys, as I was finishing up this voiceover, I was looking back at the receipts I had pulled and noticed that actually on the website Colleen is selling her tickets on, it now says that the event is for 18 plus only. I think it's very interesting and probably very telling that that changed from appropriate for an 18 plus audience now to 18 plus only. Again, very curious if she got called out for that. I know semantically it's marginally different, but I do think that there are implications with only saying that content is appropriate for an 18 plus audience versus only letting 18 plus individuals attend. So I'm very curious what happened there. Certainly would love to hear what all of you think, or maybe it was just an honest error when they initially posted the description. There is also a slight difference from what's currently on the website versus what was originally posted. For instance, the references to her Netflix show and her appearances on talk shows, her previous tours, and her books weren't included in the original description. Previously, it said, blending sharp humor, original songs, and candid storytelling, Pity Party promises an evening that is equal parts hilarious, heartfelt, and unpredictable. Join us for a midweek night of laughter, live entertainment, and wine in an intimate setting designed for unforgettable experiences. Secure your seats now for this one night only event. I really don't think that her New York show went that well, from what I saw at least. It looks like she's leaning a lot on musical comedy, which I suppose is her forte, but the jokes fell flat for me at least. And in my opinion, it's pretty diabolical that she allowed her children, who are all under 10 years old, watch her live show where she basically complained that they were blocking her and her husband, and made jokes that she herself said was for an 18 plus audience. And the cherry on top is that she made fun of her own ukulele video, knowing that the very reason that she was canceled was because she had inappropriate relationships with children, and she is still yet to apologize to her victims. Couldn't be me. I really can't see a world where Colleen's humor resonates with adult audiences because she's just not funny. I also really wonder if she's going to revive Miranda. I know that we saw some allusions to Miranda in her live show in New York, kind of testing the waters a little, but I wonder if that means that she will in fact resurrect Miranda from the dead. But again, I really don't see Miranda doing well with adult audiences. It's just some lady who wears outrageous outfits and smears red lipstick all over her face, all while talking in an obnoxious nasal voice and making crude jokes with underlying sexual tones. But I guess at this point, if Colleen wants to start touring again, by all means, she has the right to do that. Well, the right to do that in some capacity. I do still think that there should have been more consequences to her actions, like potentially the law coming into play, but we all know how the law works when it comes to powerful individuals and protecting children. But anyway, if Colleen wants to tour, fine, go for it. At this point, after everything that has happened, if anyone chooses to attend, that's on them. Anyway, I'm very curious to know what you all think about this. Do you see Colleen succeeding? And do you think she's going to bring Miranda back? Let's all pray together that she doesn't. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I'll see y'all in the next one.